Okay, in the next part of the homework assignment, we're going to actually go to the problem set, and we're going to start working on the problem set. So um, these are the problems that are due for this particular homework. You can see that things are circled there. And on problem number 1, this is graphing. Now, I covered graphing, but I want to make sure I cover it again. So when we're graphing, what's important is that when we have a complex number, as we do in this particular case, what I want to do, is look at the number. So I have 5 plus 2i. This is what is known as the real part. Again, this is stuff that was covered before in an earlier video. This is the imaginary part. And what's important is that the real part is always the x, the imaginary part is always the y. So therefore, when we start graphing these, if I have 5 plus 2i, that means I'm going to go over 5 and up 2. So I'm going to plot it right there. So that would be A, and you want to make sure you label it. And then let's try some other ones just to see some little quirky ones here. So like D is negative I. Notice that there is no real part for D. So since there's no real part, that means the real part is 0. So that means on the x we go 0. So 0 is right on at the center at the origin. And that means we go down negative 1 because the y is negative 1. There would be D. On this one here, you're just going to have to convert these to numbers. So we really have negative 1.5 plus 0.866i. So if you do those on a calculator, you can figure that out. And of course, negative 1.5 over here, so it's halfway between 1 and 2. And 0.866 is almost 0.9, so it's going to be pretty close. So it's going to be probably right around here. And so that would be my H value. So that's what we want to do with all these problems. We want to go through and just graph those. You'll notice on problem number 2, we have a plus and a minus, and then the rest of them are multiplications. So this one becomes minus. Notice that the whole thing is squared once I figure all this stuff out. So I want to make sure that I go through and do all the steps, but because it's a multiplication problem, I'm not going to do that today. And then on number 3, you can see that we have a plus, a minus, a plus, and then there's multiplication on all the other ones. So I'm not going to do any of those. Number 4, you don't need to do because we're going to cover that on Tuesday and Wednesday. However, now we can start seeing some other things. So if we come down here, first off, and I did this already, so you may want to go back and reference the material where I covered it. So we want to figure out what is I to the 5th, I to the 6th, I to the 7th, and so on. So we know that I equals the square root of negative 1, which is just I. I squared would be the square root of negative 1 squared. So, of course, the square and the square root cancel. Notice not the negative because the squares already canceled the square root. So I squared equals negative 1. I cubed equals I squared times I, because it's really I to the first power. If I multiply those together, you guys know this. If I do x squared times, not plus, x squared times x to the 5th, that is x to the 7th. That's because we add the powers. So if I have a 2 and a 1 here, 2 plus 1 is 3, I can see that I squared times I to the first, which is a weird looking 1 there. I to the first would be 3. So that would be 3 if I'm looking at those two adding up. And of course, I squared we've already shown. I squared is negative 1, so that would be negative I. So this one is negative 1, and then I have my I there. So negative 1I or negative I would work just as well. I to the 4th is equal to I squared times I squared because we add up those powers again. That's I to the 4th. That is negative 1 times negative 1, which is positive 1. So now we have definitions. I equals the square root of negative 1. I squared equals negative 1. I cubed equals negative I. And I to the 4th equals 1. So now we can project that on the other ones. I to the 5th equals I to the 6th equals I squared, I to the 7th equals I cubed, and I to the 8th equals I to the 4th. Okay, and based on that information, I know that I to the 6th equals 1, I to the 7th equals negative I, and I to the 5th just equals I to the 8th equals positive 1. And notice as they go up in 4s, we can keep generating those different numbers. So notice that I to the 8th is one of them. We already figured that out. That's equal to 1. So I to the 102, if we know I to the 100, I to the 100 is equal to 1. Now, why do I know that? Because 4 goes into 100, divides into 100 evenly. So therefore, that has to be 1. So 2 more beyond that, I to the 102 has to equal I. So this is equal to I to the 101 equals I to the 102 equals I squared. So I know that I squared equals negative 1. So I to the 102 equals negative 1. And then we're going to do number 8 next time. And so we'll get a chance to see a few more problems as we go along in the next class period.